Hey, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see how to create a flip fluid simulation. So let us take a geometry and just go inside. So now we need to take any test objects to create the simulation. So just we'll take an rubber toy. And after that, we need to take an dope network. And just we'll go inside. And now we need to take a flip solver. So just we need to connect to this output. And now we need to connect a object from which we want to create a simulation. So as we want to create a simulation from this object, so for that we need to take a node called flip object, and just we need to connect this flip object to this input here. So just we need to connect here. And now defaultly we are getting a cube. So we need to browse the model from which we want to create the simulation. So if you go inside this, and if you see the properties of this flip object, so defaultly you can see there is an it has been connected with the cube here. So we need to browse the model. So in order to browse that model, we need to select this option, open floating operator. So select this, and we need to select this test geometry and just click on accept. So see now we got this shape here. And now what the thing is, we need to change the shape of this particle. So in order to do that, we need to select this flip objects. And here you can see there is an option like guide. So if you come here, and here you can see there is an option like particles. So here defaultly the shape of these particles are sprite. So here we have to change it to particles. So see now it has been changed to particles. So now we can increase the number of particles. So here you can see there is an option like particle separation. So we need to decrease that. So let's say suppose if I put it to 0.05 or something. So see now it has been increased the number of particles. So it depends on your system. You can create number of particles here. So let's say I will put the value to 0.9 or something. So that's fine. And now see if you zoom out, you can see there is a box here. That means the particle will simulate only inside this box. So if you want to increase or decrease the size of this box, we need to select this flip solver. And here you can see there is an option like volume motion, and here you can decrease the size of the box. And also if you want to change the color of this box, here you can see there is an option like to change the color. So in case if you want to change it to blue, you can change it to blue. Whatever the color you want, you can change according to your requirement. So let's say I will change it to like blue color. And also if you want to decrease the size of this box, so here you can see there is an option like box size. So we can decrease the box size. So let's say I will put the value to like 25 or something. And still if you want to decrease, you can decrease. Let's say we'll put the value to 20, 20, 20. And still the model is very small. And if you want to increase the size of this model, just we will go back and just we will increase the size of this thing. So let's say we will change the size to 5 or something. And just we will see now, we'll go inside, and now it has been increased the size of this model. And now we need to add a force so that the particles will fall down, because when we click on play, nothing will happen. So we need some forces to activate these particles. So in order to do that, just we can take the gravity force. So after this flip solver, we can take a node called gravity. So just we need to connect here. And now we will see this, click on play. And see now the particles are hiding if it is going out of this box. So what the thing is, I want this box to act like a collision. And now in order to do that, we need to select this flip object. And here you can see there is an option called close boundaries. So we need to enable this so that now this box will act like a collision. Now we will see, click on play. And now here you can see the box is acting like a collision. And also if you want to adjust these colors, if you select this flip object and if you come down, you can see there is a visualization or attribute. Here according to the velocity, it will change the color of this fluid. So if you want to change the colors, you can increase this value. So just we can put like value to 30 or something. So see. And now we'll click on play. And see now it has been changed the color of these particles. And now what the thing is, we want to generate these particles continuously from this object. So if you see, if you select this flip solver here, there is an input called sourcing. So whatever the source you connect to this input here, so the particles will generate continuously from that object. So for that, we need to take a node called volume source. So just select this. So we need to connect here. And now in the volume source here, you can see there is an input like SOP. So here we can select this first context geometry. So what is the meaning of this first context geometry is, so if you go back, then you can see, so if you connect this geometry to this dope network, so whatever the object you connect to this input will be considered as an first context geometry. So see, here you can see that now we have set the option to first context geometry. So whatever the geometry has been connected to this .NET, then it will be considered as an first context geometry. And now we need to make some settings in this volume source. If you select this, so here you can see initialize. So here we have to change the option to source flip. And now we have to select this flip object. And if you go to this initial data, now we need to remove this geometry as we have generating the particles by using this volume source. So now no need of using this thing. So just we can backspace and press enter. So whenever we remove this thing, now we are not able to see this object. So what the thing is, we need to convert this object into particles. So we need to take an flip dot source and just we need to connect here. And now what the thing is, after connecting this flip source, now this has been converted into particles here. So if you just enable this, now see it has been converted into particles. So now we'll go inside and now here you can see the object and now we'll click on play. And now you can see it is continuously generating the particles from the object. And now what the thing is, if you want to change the directions of these particles, for example, if you go back, and now if you want to change the directions of these particles, so we need to take a node called point velocity. So just search for point velocity. And just we need to connect here. And after taking this here in the basic, you can change the option to set to value. And we can here specify the direction on which the particles has to move. So let's say suppose in the x-axis if I put it to like 5 or something. And now if I go inside this .NET and now you can see if I click on this play. And now you can see it is going towards the x direction. And also if you select this point velocity here, you can see there is an option like curl noise. We can enable this so that we'll get the random particles here. So if you go to this and if you play this, so here we got this random particle simulation here, means like we got some sort of curls over these particles. And if you want to increase, you can increase the curl. So if I go back and just if you select this point velocity and you can increase the scale so that we'll get the random particle simulation. And for example, if I scale it to like 5 or something, now we will see this. So we'll go inside this .NET. And again, we will click on play. And now here you can see we got more realistic fluid simulation. So if you want to change the direction to the Y, so we can change. So if you go to this flip velocity and here you can change the value to Y axis. So let's say if I put the value 0 in the X axis and just let's say if I change it to 5 in the Y direction. And now we will see this. So just if I go inside dope network and just will hit play. And now you can see it is going in the Y direction and just it is falling down. And if you want the particles directly should fall down, then we have to put the negative value. So if I stop this, and now if I go back and just if you select this point velocity, let's say we'll put the direction to -5. So if you go back and just we will go inside and now we'll click on play. And now you can see we got this beautiful simulation. If you go closer, now you can see the curls. So if you want to make more random curls, we can change the value. And in case if you want to change the curls value, so then we can go back and just we can select this point velocity and here you can use this scale here. So in this way, we can create the fluid simulation by using the flip solver. So that's it for this tutorial. See you in the next video.